app. Very, very useful. Let's go to For Your Money now. Too much debt can be financially debilitating, and not using debt can keep a person from moving forward.
Yep, our financial expert Andy Mattingly is in studio now. Andy, the big question here, where do most people go wrong when it comes to managing debt?
Well, not understanding that there's a couple of kinds of debt. There's good debt, debt to buy an appreciating asset like a home or something you need to live your life, like a car to get to work. And then there's kind of bad debt that you fund extravagances like spending too much on the holidays or vacations you can't really afford. So that's kind of the first thing to understand. There's two types of debt.
Any other common mistakes that you would say are common in managing that debt?
Yeah, that they don't really work to pay off that high interest debt. They let, credit cards or other debt that has a lot of high interest, they don't work to pay that off quickly, and so it just costs them more.
Gotcha. How much debt is reasonable for a person to have? Not talking about homes or cars, though.
Yeah, if you take your student loans and credit cards and that, you want to look at your net monthly take-home pay and try to keep whatever those payments are to less than 10%. That means you can still do everything else you need to do in your life without debt impacting that.
What are some of the warning signs that maybe we've overextended ourselves a little bit?
Yeah, well, first is that you don't even really know how much debt you have.
Oh.
So if you can't really pinpoint how much of that type of debt, you probably got a problem. But then it starts where you start paying things late or you start only paying the minimums, then you've really snowballed into a real problem.
So when people ask you, what do I do to manage debt wisely, then what do you tell them?
I think the first thing is that you start and you don't add any debt unless you know that you can actually afford it. So you need to look at your budget and say, can I afford this payment? And if you've got debt that's out there, think about refinancing it to a lower rate. Rates are low, so that'll help you. And really work to pay off some of that high interest debt as quickly as you can. That's the best way to make sure you don't get into a debt problem.
All right. Always appreciate your advice. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. All right, at 12